Right, so my brother Leon has been wanting his own car for a long time. He's currently daily driving a 3-litre diesel Range Rover. We was hunting around on all sorts of websites because he's been looking for specifically a BMW i8. Strangely, his two choices were either a Mercedes G-Wagon or a BMW i8. He's a quirky guy, he likes to be a bit different. He's gone for the i8, as you can see behind me. Oh, the lights just went off, didn't they? This car was advertised at auction with a battery fault. Now, you do not want to buy an electric car with a battery fault because batteries for electric cars are bloody expensive. The car has just arrived on the back of a lorry, and in this video we're going to talk about the i8, talk about the fault, and hope, fingers crossed, that it's going to be alright for Leon. A BMW i8. Now this is an interesting subject because my channel was very sort of BMW dominant. As you can see, we've got the M2 here, I've got an M6, we've got the 335D project car that we're giving away for free over there. We'll talk about that in another video. i8, it's very nice to have an i8 on the channel because it's an interesting subject, isn't it? It's a 1.5 litre petrol engine, but it is also powered or doubled up with an electric motor. Performance figures are unbelievable. It's a very it's an interesting subject. This one in front of me, the first thing you're probably going to notice on it is these little red touches, which I really don't like, and secondly the sort of satin or matte black vinyl wrap. Now underneath the vinyl wrap, this car is actually white. It seems absolutely bonkers that someone's bought a fresh white BMW i8 and then wrapped it in that colour. It's crazy, isn't it? So what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to get this wrap peeled off because I think it looks hideous. Leon obviously is going to be the owner of this car. He dislikes it as well, and we've actually got a wrapping company local to us who are up for getting it off for us. So something else is, let's turn these speakers off quickly. We'll talk about the interior. Look at all this, look, all the blue lights and that, see it down there? It's all very retro, isn't it? First thing you can notice, actually, whilst we're in it, is the state of this car. Look, it's just not, it is in a horrible state. It's just literally arrived like this, off the back of a lorry. Shout out to Ashley at ARB Recovery. Again, he bailed us out. He's like, Calvin, I'm going to Manchester, let me pick this car up for you. So he's picked it up for us, dropped it down today, and it's nice, obviously, bar the issues that we're aware of. So someone's gone for the satin black and the little red bits and bobs here and there, centre caps there, and then even the calipers. Oh, priority is going to be, like I say, getting the wrap off. Just arrived, it's done 36,000 miles. Now, it was a bargain, but admittedly, it was also a bit of a risk. Now, I have just been for a drive in it. Let me just grab the key. Yeah, let's have a go at jumping in. This is going to be a laugh, isn't it? Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I'm a little bit tall for this car, but once you actually get in, it's not too bad. There's a bit of headroom and a little bit of leg room. In fact, the seat can go back a tiny bit more. It's nice in here, look. Little eye badge on the dash there. It is filthy dirty, by the way. I know I just pointed out all the dirt on the seat, but inside and out, I just had a little look under the bonnet. The car also needs a bloody good valet. Start the engine. Listen to that, does not make any noise. But if you give the throttle a little rev, it will start the little tiny engine that is located in the rear there. It's got back seats, by the way. Don't see what use they have as seats, but they've definitely got use as storage space. But yeah, the battery, right? When you drive it in sports mode, so you click it to the left here. It's not going to do it because we're not in drive. There you go. That puts it in sports. You can see the dash lights up. Flick it back to comfort, over to sport. Such a cool car, man. It's got so much we can talk about with this car. We won't do the drive just yet because I'll get the wrap peeled off first, but we'll talk about that, like I say, in a sec. So yeah, the idea is put it in sports mode. That then charges the battery. You can also charge the battery yourself at home, like with a plug-in charger, but it does also act as like your average hybrid electric car where it will charge itself as well. So you've got the option to drive it in comfort mode and just chill out and like save loads of fuel. Cheap run around, and then you've got the option, like I said, put it in sports mode and have some fun. Now, I have just done that, and trust me, this thing is bloody quick. I don't understand why these cars are so cheap. Let me just turn that off. When I use the word cheap, I don't for 1 second think that the amount of money these cars are is a small amount of money. They're a lot of money, but they're very, very cheap considering what you get as a package. So I can fully see why Leon's bought one. They're like bloody, my M6s of similar value. M3 money, like why the hell are more people not considering these cars? They're good on fuel, they perform unbelievably well. They've got these flip up doors, by the way, they weigh nothing. And if you can get one like this, with a wrap on it, you know, afterwards it's going to look wonderful, isn't it? So yeah, like I say, I have been out for driving it. It does drive spot on. This battery fault that it's supposedly got, I'm yet to experience that, alright? So I don't want to jinx myself. I think it's pretty good. I don't think there's going to be anything wrong with it. I'm sort of crossing my fingers as I say this. But what we'll do, let's prioritise. Let's get the wrap taken off, and we'll check back after that's been done. We'll go for a drive in it, and then hope that it drives alright? So 3 seconds. Wrap removal time. 3, 2, 1. Don't that look so much better in white, man? What a good move that was, getting that wrap peeled off. What I didn't show you on the first part of this video was how poor the wrap was. There was like some damage on the wrap on the door, I think on this side. It might have been the passenger's door, but the wrap must have been done a little while ago. It's all looking a bit ropey, and now we have, not only is it gloss white, because obviously the wrap was like matte or satin, but this is a gloss pearl white. So if you come sort of in the light, we're underneath a tree and it's dropping these little leaves on us. You can't really see the pearl too well, but yeah, it's a nice pearly colour. And obviously we've got all these blue touches, which it's a crime to cover them blue touches up. I just couldn't do that. The calipers are still red. Leon is actually going to get them painted in the week by Quattro Coachworks, so give Leon a little follow on Instagram if you want to see the progress on what he gets done to this car. And then as we come around the back again, look at them blue touches, man. It just looks so cool, doesn't it? Look at no car I've ever seen has got curves and shapes like this car has. Like everywhere you look, it just looks mental, man. So yeah, hop back on the inside. Again, reminding you that them doors are super lightweight. The reason why is because they're made out of carbon fibre. So literally that is one finger moving that door with no effort at all. And it's got a carbon tub as well. So again, like a car of this amount of money, they start at about £40,000, like for a non-categorised car. It's crazy what this car offers for the amount of money. So what we'll do is jump in the driver's seat and hit the road. Lots of cars on the road today. How dare there be lots of cars on the road? It's very warm in here as well. Right, so as we pull off, we are in comfort mode, right? And comfort mode, as you can imagine, is like every other comfort mode on every other car on the planet. It's quite soulless, quite boring, but what it does do is it saves fuel, which is what I suppose one of the key features of this car is. And whilst in comfort mode, it uses both the electric motor and the petrol engine. So we're down at 4 miles in range on the electric motor at a minute, and we've got half a tank of fuel, right? So that's quite good, right? So we're using a bit of both. But when I first drove this car, right, I drove it in this comfort mode, and I looked down at the rocker switch down here, which a lot of BMWs have got this switch, and you can switch it up to comfort, which is what I was already in, or down to Eco Pro. But surely comfort and Eco Pro are very similar. Maybe Eco Pro's the full electric mode. But anyway, all I cared about was I wanted to know where the sports mode was. I couldn't find it. I come back and I felt disappointed. I drove it and I was like, yeah, it's quite quick. It does make quite a nice purr. In fairness, it's very quick. Maybe I got into it with too high expectations. But I then discovered that it does have a sports mode, which I mentioned earlier in the video. If you click the gear stick to the left, sports mode is now on. We've got a red dash. It all looks a bit more dramatic. You can paddle shift the gears manually with the paddles on the steering wheel like you can with any car. It's a 6-speed ZF gearbox, by the way. That sports mode transforms the car. This car, combined with both the electric motor and the petrol engine, It's 360 horsepower, which ain't a lot of horsepower. It weighs about 1,550 kilos dry. Obviously add the oil and all the fluid under the bonnet. You know, the engine's there, same old. It's not a light car, it ain't too heavy, but it is the best performing 360 horsepower car I've ever driven. It is unbelievable. And whilst in, there's a big tree in the road there, lots of little bushes on the road. Whilst it's in sports mode, it will also charge the battery. So currently we're on 4 miles. As I drive in sports mode, I don't know what it's doing, how it's doing it. I should know more because I'm meant to be delivering some positive information to you lot. I don't know, but I do know that I was just driving this car in sports mode, having some fun in it, and whilst I was having fun in it, it was charging my battery for my electric motor for when I want to chill out and put it in comfort mode and save fuel and save money, right? So let's undo that. Also, whilst you're in sports mode, so we'll click back to sports mode, we'll follow the Focus Titanium that is not in a rush whatsoever today, and I am, because I'm actually on my way to work. It's 20 to 1. Also, whilst in sports mode anyway, off tracks Calv, you dip into first gear, you get a better engine though, right? I am told it is artificial, it's not real, but it does sound very real. So we put our foot down. The gearbox, as with pretty much every gearbox built by BMW, is absolutely brilliant. Let's do that window up. And the performance, so you've got the sound, you've got the performance, it is a four-wheel drive. The way the weight sort of sits on the car, this is a real odd analogy. It feels like the weight is on the car, almost like it's just got a chassis and 2 seats. Like, mentally it just feels like the whole weight of the car is on the ground. And as you look at the car, you notice little like bits of aerodynamics around the body. I don't know if that's helping me keeping this car pinned to the ground, but it really does feel planted. So little rev match there as I dropped it down from 4th to 3rd. Gearbox is unbelievably on point. Like, I don't know what this gearbox is from, even if it is in another car. Don't feel like I've ever driven a BMW with a gearbox as good as this. But when you click it over to sports mode, the transformation in the way this thing drives is like no sports mode I think I've ever used in any car. It is so good. It growls like a bloody V8. In fact, Leon told me that it sounds like an R8, which is the car that he used to have. Engine is behind you. I think this should be categorised as a supercar. I don't know if it definitely is, but if it ain't, I don't know why, because every supercar, in my opinion, or any car that should be categorised as a supercar, should be a car with the engine behind the driver, and this has got that going for it. So on a little roundabout here in 2nd gear, it's just nice, man. Like, it's just effortless. It feels light. Traction control light was flicking at me there. Great fun. And one thing that this car offers that no other car in this class can offer is good fuel economy. Now, I don't know, let's have a look, see what we've got. 28.5 miles per gallon. What car performs like this, looks like this, drives like this, and gives you that economy? So I'm absolutely baffled why these cars are so cheap, and I'm going to use that word cheap again because they are too cheap. Up to £100,000, there isn't much that compares to it. Is there even anything that compares to it? They're an unbelievable car. They're a great choice of car. The road presence of an i8, don't matter what colour you've got it in, is again like nothing else in its class. And the way that the torque is just instant for you as a driver, it's an odd experience. It really is an odd experience. I don't fully get how a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder, by the way, turbocharged mini engine combined with a little electric motor can be so responsive, but it is, and it's great fun, and I bloody love it. So I do love pretty much anything with a BMW badge, but strangely again, this doesn't feel very BMW. I don't know why. It's more modern than any BMW of its age, and I suppose it's so unique that, let's get that window up, I love a bit of fresh air, gotta love a bit of fresh air. It's so unique that you almost cannot compare this car to anything else. So yeah, the battery full, that's something we haven't talked about. So as you know, this car was bought with a problem, right? And Leon bought it cheap because he wanted to take the chance on the fact that it's, you know, it might not have anything wrong with it. And sometimes car auctions, us being a car auction as well, you've got to be cautious because you don't want to stitch anyone up. And I think they were probably being overcautious because there is absolutely nothing wrong with the battery on this car. So Leon's had a right touch. He got it for a bargain. He's keeping it for himself. He absolutely loves it, and yeah, he's got every reason to love it. So yeah, no battery fault. The wrap's been removed. He's getting the calipers painted in the week. I think the wheels are going to stay black, and he's just going to daily drive it, and yeah, he's just going to enjoy it. So I'm done. I've got some exciting videos coming. My missus just bought a Porsche Macan Turbo. That's coming in the next video, and then the video after that is me flying to Edinburgh to buy a car. Yeah, I bought a car privately. That's a crazy video. Make sure you hit subscribe for the up and coming videos. Got loads of exciting stuff happening. Also hit like if you like this video. And give me a follow on Instagram at Cameron's Car Diary. I'll also put a link to Leon's Instagram in the description below. He didn't want to get involved with the video, not because he don't want to be in the video. He's just like, Cal, just take the car and just have some fun in it. So yeah, I've definitely done that. I'm nearly at work now. I'm gonna get past this dumper truck or whatever it is, stinky lorry, and end the video. All right, thank you and goodbye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, introducing you lot to my new family whip, a Porsche Macan Turbo.